welcome back to Faithful You. This is a spinning, weaving, knitting and hand dyeing podcast from Wales in the United Kingdom. Today I thought I would do something a bit different and do a midweek vlog about what I've been up to since I last spoke to you. I know it's been over a week since I did a normal knitting podcast. It's about 10 days. But I got all vlogged out with doing Vlogtober and just wanted to have a bit of a break really. So that was why we had a different video last week. Excuse me for looking all wrapped up, but I'm in my workshop and it's very cold here today. There's a big wind coming straight across the hill and it is absolutely freezing. So I've got my woolly jumper and my scarf, my new scarf, and my hat. Welcome if you're a new viewer, it's lovely to have you here. Welcome if you're a returning viewer and welcome back. Thank you to all my new subscribers and all you lovely people that have been subscribing to my channel. It's lovely to see the channel growing and the community here growing and being chatting to different people. So yeah, it's lovely to have you here. I am doing a normal knitting podcast on the weekend, so that should hopefully be up on Sunday. I've got news about Birkin. I'm going to have some new knits as well. I haven't done anything on my garden gate sweater as yet, but that might change by the weekend. And yeah, I just thought that I'd just pop in the midweek and do something different to do a midweek vlog for a change. So I'm my final Vlogtober, which I'll link up here somewhere for you. I showed you some weaving looms that I was going to have a go of. And one of them was a disaster, which I just didn't get the hang of at all. Still can't get the hang of it. Think there's a bit missing from it. Can't find the bit that's missing. And I've just put it to one side and decided not to bother. I did try my triangle loom, which is this one. And I had great success with it. I managed to try continuous strand weaving, where you weave with just one yarn all the way through. You don't have to cut it. It's just a technique that you have to learn to be able to do it. So I really enjoyed this, and I managed to make a scarf. So that's this. And it didn't turn out too bad. It was just made from scrap yarn. And what I did was I wove 2 panels and then I crocheted it together on the back and did a seam along the middle, which I don't think looks too bad. It's usable, it's not going to come apart, and yeah, I think it looks really good. I've done some yarn as a tassel, one there and one there. I'll just take this off and show you what it looks like on. I'm really pleased with it. In fact, so pleased with it, I'm going to make some more. I'm going to try making a bigger one. But yeah, that's my first shawl that I've done on my little triangle loom, which is just this. It's just made from 3 pieces of wood and some 2.5-inch tacks up each side. It's an equilateral triangle, as best as I could make it. And there's just equal pins along the top and the 2 sides, so it's really easy to make. I did need to pre-drill the holes because the pine that I was using was a bit hard. It's just ordinary pine from the builder's yard. I just bought, I think it's 1 inch thick, or is it 1.5? I think it's 1.5 inches thick. But yeah, it turned out really well. So I'm really pleased with the scarf. It's really nice to wear, really comfortable. And even though it's got such an open weave on it, it's really comfortable and it doesn't really let a lot of the wind in. So yeah, that was the success I had with my pin loom. I enjoyed that so much. I've started one on my 6-foot one. This is a 6-foot one that I've made myself. If I can, it's that big, I can't, like that. So yeah, I've been weaving on this one. This is back to front, but as you can see, I've been weaving on this one and I'm doing the same technique, the continuous strand. And I'm doing that in my hand spun. So let's see if I can turn it back round. I'm doing that in my hand spun. So there you go. It's really nice to weave with. It doesn't snap. The first yarn I tried kept snapping. But this one seems to be staying in one piece. That's the yarn that I'm using. As I say, it's my own hand spun and it's made from Shetland. And it's turning out really, really rustic. It's turning out really nice. So I'm going to carry on with that and see how I get on. Hopefully that'll be a finished object for you on Sunday when my new podcast comes out. So I may even have another one done by then. I'm hoping to continue using this loom because I'd like to use it to weave things to be able to pop in my shop. And I'm going to make another one because this was just a a prototype. It wasn't supposed to ever be a functioning loom. It was just supposed to be to see how it was made, to see how it worked, and to see how I could improve on it, on what I made. So I didn't make this equilateral, I made this wrong. So I do need to adjust how it's made and find somewhere to use it. So that is coming up in a minute, and plans for this room. So yeah, I did try using this loom. Let me just get it for you. I did try this loom, but could I get the hang of it? Nah, couldn't get the hang of it at all. But the thing I found was this is the bar that I had with this loom, but it turns out this is off another loom, it's the wrong bar. So I can't find the bar that's off this. I'm not sure if I've lent it to my mum. So mum, if you're watching, if you've got the bar from this, can I please borrow it back so I can carry on and learn this loom? I'm not sure if I lent it to you with a loom that I've lent you. I think this is off the one you've got and I need the one you've got for this one. But yeah, just a shout out to my mum if she's there. Anyway, I didn't get the hang of this, so that's got thrown to one side. And I didn't get the hang of this either, which is a smaller version of it. There's not enough grooves in the bar that goes across there. I can use it as an ordinary weaving loom, but I wanted to learn to use it with the bar, and the bars don't fit either. So yeah, so that's that. So they didn't work. But what I did have great fun with was the knitter's loom. And yeah, I'll just get it. I'm organised as usual. I'm organised as usual. Is this knitter's loom here? Now, I borrowed this off my mother-in-law. So if you're watching, thanks ever so much. It was brilliant. I had a really good time with it. I made 3 things with it so far, and I'm hoping to make more because it's such an easy thing to use. It's got such an even tension on it, and I had great fun with it. So I want to experiment with different thicknesses of yarn, experiment with my hand spun yarn, and see if I can use this for my hand spun yarn. A subscriber recommended a video to me on Instagram, which was available on YouTube. So I've watched that. I'll put a link in the description bar below for you. And it was a great video. It was just what you needed, just to learn how to cast it on, learn how to knit, and you're away. So yeah. So I knit this, which is lovely. This is my hand spun. This is the same yarn that I used in my Meal cardigan, which I had on in my last podcast, which I'll link up here for you. And this was from a recycled jumper that I got from the charity shop. So this is the yarn. It's a beautiful colour and it looks lovely on. It's a beautiful one to wear. It's lovely and warm, and it seems to keep the shape of the cowl. So I'm trying not to stretch it too much. But this is Shetland as well, from the Isle of Skye, and it's so warm. It keeps my neck so warm, it makes me feel so warm. And with my handmade hat as well, I can keep myself nice and toasty. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be making something else with this. The other thing that I made was a cowl, and this is 100% acrylic yarn. And again, it's just a nice cowl to wear. I want to make an infinity scarf, but I didn't have enough yarn. This will wrap around more than once, but it's a bit tight, so I think it needs stretching. What's the word? Blocking. But yeah, it will go on at a push twice. But as I say, it's a little bit tight. But a little bit longer, and I would have had a double wrap cowl. But I can try stretching it to see if it will stretch. But yeah, it's a nice cowl. For a first attempt, I did drop a stitch, and my stitching up isn't very neat. I could have done with doing a Kitchener stitch to do the two together, and I have dropped a stitch just here. So yeah, not bad for a first attempt, but this one, I live in this at the moment. Between this one and this one, my woven one. So yeah, I want to use that triangle loom, the mini one again, and weave another one of these, but weave this time 4 triangles and pop them together and make an even bigger shawl. So, I mean, you could even use the triangle shawl for making blankets, which would be really nice if you've got enough yarn. But I mean, I don't even think the join looks that intrusive either. I think that's a nice addition to it as well, so you could wear it either way. But yeah, that's just my potterings of what I've done since I last saw you, when I last spoke to you. I haven't tried the full-size knitting loom yet, but I do intend to get that back out again and try that again. It is for sale at the moment, but if I can get it working, I'll keep it, because I'd like to make jumpers on it. There's some Kate Davis patterns that, excuse me, I'm going to have to put my hat back on, I'm a bit cold. There's a Kate Davis pattern that I'd like to make. I think it's her foxglove pattern, and she does the pattern there for a knitting machine, and I think the bluebell and the it's a really colourful one with a block, typical Shetland yoke. I'll put a thing on the bottom of the screen when I find out when I go in. Can't remember the name of it right now. Cuckoo Bray, I think it's called. Cuckoo Bray. You can do the main part of the body on the knitting machine, and then you can join it in the round to do the yoke. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do with the knitting machine, if I can ever get it working. I can't find anyone locally who can teach me to use it, but there are plenty of things on YouTube, but I just can't get the thing to work. I've tried many times and the stitches just keep falling off the needles before they've even knit. So perseverance pays off, I suppose. But yeah, I've got great plans for this room. I've abandoned the shed in the garden. It's far too wet to go tramping up and down to the summer shed up the garden by the chickens. So I've decided to redo this room and make this a usable space. Long term, there is a barn in the garden that has fallen into disrepair. It's got no roof, the walls are falling to bits, there's no front. But I would like to do that up into a studio for my work. It's probably about the same size as this one, but I think it's a little bit wider. But the space would work a lot better than this one. For some reason, I just see the... sorry, there was a big bumblebee outside the window. I just think it would work better than this room, because this room's very cold. It's very... there's a lot of creosote in the bench, which I have covered, but I can still smell it. And I just think it would be nice to do that space up. I could put a log burner in there, or build a little chimney and put a little fireplace in and be able to be in there all year. So that's my long-term plans for being in this house, because I don't see us moving anytime soon, and I would like to be here for the rest of my days, really. And I just think long term to have a studio where I can have big windows, which will let in lots of natural light. I'll have the view as well, still the same view as what's here. And long term that would just be a great space, but that is long term, few years time. So this room has got to function as a work room for me and somewhere where I can record my knitting podcasts. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just turn you around. I'm going to take the floor loom down, which is just behind me in that messy corner over there. Where are we? That messy corner there. I'm in the process of putting a higher shelf up. My shelves there are going to be extended upwards there, and I'm going to have a tall ladder to be able to get what I need. So that's going to be my main shelving. And then in that corner there, the floor loom's coming down, and I'm going to have a little sewing area work table over there. And the wooden boards here are going to have paper on them so it'll lighten up the area, and there will be a light up there. And then these shelves are going to be less cluttered and less dominating in the room. So yeah, what I'm hoping is to be able to hang my triangle loom either there or here with a hook and eye from the ceiling down, and then just be able to sit it on this countertop here. So that is my plan for that, to have a proper working area for the triangle loom. So yeah, that's my plans for this room, which I'm going to do today. I'm going to take that floor loom down today, and I'm thinking of putting that up in the other shed once that's watertight, which I'm going to get the stuff for that today and finish that off. And because I have to go out shopping in a little while. And yeah, just generally get myself organised. So yeah, my mind's working overtime at the moment about that barn. It'll be ideal. I just think it'll be perfect. It's about 21 foot in length and about 10 foot wide. So yeah, my mind is going thinking about all the things that I could do in there and all the things I could do with it. But at the moment, all the water seeps through the walls, and the floor gets saturated. So there's nothing in there. I'll try and put a picture in for you of what it looks like. If I can find one on my laptop, there'll be one in the video. But yeah, that's my long-term plans. Anyway, I'm starting to waffle again now. So I just thought to check in with you, show you what I've been making. There is a knitting podcast coming up on Sunday. I'm going to record that on Saturday. If it's warm enough and dry enough, it'll be in the shed up the garden. But otherwise I'll do it in here. So I'm going to buy myself a hot water bottle today, and then I can have that on my knee to keep me warm while I'm in here, because I want to work. I need to get some work done. I need to do things. I've got my videos to finish. It's just been too cold. I haven't been able to get in here to finish off the drum carding video because it's just been too cold. And I haven't been able to go in the garage and finish my natural dyes video because it's been too cold. So yeah, I need to get some work done. I need to get organised. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm waffling again. I will see you at the weekend. So whatever you're up to in the next few days, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your craft, and I will see you soon. So if you need to find me on any social media, it's all in the description bar below. And please do leave comments on my videos and say hello and let me know where you are and what you're working on. So lovely to talk to you. See you again at the weekend, and enjoy the rest of your day. So bye for now. Bye bye.